Welcome to the Men Ain't Shit podcast. 3 black men discussing current topics and debunking myths from a male's perspective. Now your host, Robert George, Corwin Davis, and Christopher Lewis.
What's up? We back on another episode of Men Ain't. And yeah. Apparently I missed my cue. But this is what it is. So today we got swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah, man. We talking about these dating apps today, bro.
Yeah, the dating apps,
Ooh-wee.
Chris, you don't know about those though.
Hey, man, I had a brief moment, just to dabble into a few of them.
Yeah. So we talking about dating apps. It's pretty popular these days. I mean, I just got divorced, a little bit ago, and
so you all in them?
I'm all in them a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about that life.
I was a little cautious at first, but I ain't gonna lie. My boy Rob put me on the dating apps.
Hey, bro, don't sell it like I'm just out here philandering on these dating apps.
Bruh, matter of fact, right before we started the show, he put me on another one. What's the name of it? Hinge.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna link on that one tonight, and we're gonna see what happens with that one. But man, let's talk about these dating apps. What we got? We got Tinder.
I say we get Chris going, man, because he been out the game for a little bit. So his experience may not be so current. So I want to hear his story.
Hey, but I live vicariously through you guys. You know what I mean? So I get to stay current. So just in case somebody asks me, I can put them onto the Bumble, and the Tinder, and all that stuff.
Wait, so how you know those names, bro?
You guys, come on, man. I'm happily married. Okay. Shout out to the wifey.
There you go. That's
good. What dating apps were you on?
So I'm back in Black Planet days, you know what I mean?
What other time back to Black Planet? How long? Say, I met some scuttlebugs off of Black Planet, though.
Man, look.
Say, that was before catfishing was a thing. Black Planet had the catfish.
Hey, man, Black Planet was the truth, you know what I mean? But no, I had a little dabble into Plenty of Fish. I had an early, little endeavors with the Tinder. But, after that, I found my little brown caramel queen, so I had to delete them accounts.
Okay. Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? I couldn't search my location. I couldn't swipe right or left no more.
So Plenty of Fish. I didn't hear about Plenty of Fish until I think I was engaged or I was getting married. And one of my other boys told me about Plenty of Fish and what goes down on there. Right. So my understanding of Plenty of Fish was that, this is where you go to get it on. Right, this is where it's gonna be popping. You probably ain't gonna find the quality chicks. Matter of fact, you ain't even looking on Plenty of Fish for no quality, right? Literally every single story I heard about Plenty of Fish was somebody meeting somebody on Plenty of Fish and them smashing that night. So,
facts.
Being the nigga that I am, first thing I did when I got divorced is I got on Plenty of Fish.
Rebound.
If I'm being honest though, I thought it was trash though, man. I think at this point, I'm 30 plus and I can't deal with that shit.
You sophisticated.
Just a little bit.
Black professional.
I did a brief stint on Plenty of Fish, bro. And the quality of chick sales on Plenty of Fish was straight trash, bro.
Trash.
I think I may have lasted probably 2 weeks before I got off, and they ain't never go out on a date or link up with a chick. I couldn't do it, man.
I don't even think I got any phone numbers out of Plenty of Fish, man.
I think it's a good intro though. When you're trying to get into the game of dating apps, you get onto the ghetto ones. I call that the ghetto level, But
it's free though. I think that was the biggest thing. It was one of those free ones, and you wouldn't have to do much.
Yeah, it just put you in front of a lot of chicks. And you brought up a pretty good point, man. Like tiers with dating apps, I would probably say that Plenty of Fish is on the lowest tier,
super low.
Have y'all ever heard of the BLK app?
I have. I think you told me about that, right?
Look, man, I don't know, bro.
So what's that stand for, first of all?
I think it's black, but I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's just supposed to be black.
Okay,
so it's majority black people on the BLK app. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
different from Soul Swipe.
It's like Soul Swipe, but just different UI, pretty much.
Different UI. What's that?
Like the user interface.
interface?
It just looks a little
I just had to make
cool,
sure.
man.
Well, so for our listeners,
You know, we got an IT guy, engineering guy. Come on.
well,
man.
I used to program, so I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, we was in the computer cluster together.
Oh, you should have known UI then, bro.
I did, bro. I was asking that so you can expand for our listeners, just in case they know what that.
Okay, word up,
UI
word
was,
up,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
But yeah, it's a lot like Soul Swiping. The idea that majority of the people you're gonna see on there are black folks, and then of course if you see somebody else, they want to date somebody who black.
Basically, you see the Latinas, you see
Yeah.
the Caucasians.
Yeah, you may see a white chick on there every now and again or whatever. So, I would probably say that BLK ain't all the way trash, but it's just like you got to do a lot of filtering through BLK. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know, like, you don't really get a whole lot of info, like bio info. You don't know kind of like walk of life, where they come from, what they do, none of that. You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
think the one thing I liked about BLK, and I'm just a person that I only date black women. I've only ever dated black women. Of course, I don't have a problem with anybody else dating anybody else, but what I appreciate about it is different from like a Tinder or something like that, in the sense that like Tinder is like I got to swipe by 10 times before I see a black person.
Bruh. Well, Bumble like that too, though.
Bumble is like that, you know. But black was like BLK, I guess, whatever it is. I was like, all right, this is cool. Then you just gotta differentiate between the scuttlebugs and that.
Yeah, bro.
So depending on your location, right? That's how Tinder work, right? So you stay around a whole bunch of white people, huh?
I don't think it matter on Plenty of Fish or BLK though, because I mean you gonna get scuttlebugs regardless. That's just, I think that's just the nature of what it is.
So I stole that word from you, by the way. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Never heard that. You know what I'm saying?
Rob, you got to define what a scuttlebug is.
Oh man, a scuttlebug is just a chick you don't want to have nothing to do with.
It's
And
like
I think
old school we say butterface. Is that
but-
like going back
yeah,
to
I
that?
mean it could just be
Butterface was kind of positive though, because
yeah, everything good but her face. Yeah, scuttlebugs is a chick, bro. You don't want to look at, talk to, have nothing to do with, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you call it at like 2:00 in the morning, or you send that text.
Not even.
Oh,
a
you
scuttlebug,
don't
look,
know that.
a scuttlebug ain't even worth the 2 a.m. call, bro. Like that's the category they in.
So hold on. What's worth the 2 a.m. call though?
What's worth the 2 a.m. call?
I mean, is that like
Look, bro, I ain't making 2 a.m. calls, bro.
I be sleeping 2 a.m. I'm sorry.
Those have when you 30 plus.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, if we don't get this thing popping, we gotta get this thing started before 12.
You know what I'm saying?
We gotta do this happy hour.
Basically.
8:30.
We're gonna take
Yeah,
this
man.
nap together. Hey, baby, we about to cuddle nap.
You're gonna be like Wesley Snipes and Angela Bassett and I still got what is it? What's the movie? Waiting to Exhale. You know, they didn't do anything. You know, they just kind of laid in the bed. You know.
Well, that's whack.
Conversation.
I don't know about that. If you lay in this bed, it's probably going down. I mean,
All right, look, we get a little bit off. So, low tier apps. We talking about BLK
Yeah.
and
Did we
Plenty
say
of
that-
Fish.
But did we say BLK is low tier though?
So, it depends. The only reason why I call it low tier is majority of the chicks that you sifting through ain't worth the time. I don't feel like.
So what makes them worth the time?
Or let's backtrack. So define, the different tiers of that you will say,
Yeah.
depending on the
Okay,
apps.
that's a fair question. So different tiers, I would say low tier, BLK, and not because the interface is trash or anything, but it's just how much sifting you have to do to get to like decent conversation, a good chick, whatever. So that's the only reason why I'm putting BLK in a low tier. I'm gonna throw Plenty of Fish in there, and pretty much all them other apps that don't nobody use, like Coffee Meets Bagel, all that trash, whatever.
What?
Yeah,
Coffee Meets Bagel?
bro. It's a whole nother world out here. Bro.
That sounds true.
Wait, Coffee Meets Bagel.
Yes, bro.
Wait, what is that about?
It
That
don't
sounds
even-
like some black and white type. You know?
I don't even know what it is, but it like
They put cream cheese on the bagel?
trust, bro. Like I maybe lasted like 30 minutes, and I'm
Sound like you
deleting the
doing
app.
Dirty
on my profile.
Sanchez on that app or something.
I'm about to pull up Google Play, man. They gotta have some. What kind of apps they got?
Bro, it's some other stuff. So to the medium tier,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw Tinder in the medium tier, and the reason why is
Wouldn't put 10 at the top.
I'm not gonna put Tinder at the top because the whole purpose behind a dating app is to meet somebody that you would date and hopefully at some point end up in a relationship, right? So with Tinder, the experience that I've heard, and I'm only saying because I've heard because I haven't really experienced, like I don't have a whole lot of experience with Tinder.
From men and women, or mostly men, or what?
This is what I've heard on both ends, men and women. Is just like Tinder for smashing. Like you go on there, like
I heard that too.
yeah. So
I ain't never done it, but I heard that.
That seems like all of them. That's what it's for.
Yeah. Well,
Kind of.
no.
It depends.
No, we're gonna break that down for you, Chris. You've been out the game for a while. So check it though. So like Tinder, smashing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what
I mean, because I'm just saying, like, I've seen some profiles on Tinder that don't just seem like they're not just trash.
I will agree with you. However, based on your experience, have you used Tinder before?
I have.
Have you fared better with other apps, or has Tinder given you the most?
Fair better with other apps.
So that's kind of my
boring.
point.
But to me, Tinder with the drawback for Tinder for me was that it takes too long for me to get to black people.
Yeah.
You know, and then by that time, you know, if somebody responds to your ass, or just, you know, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
So Tinder is in the middle. So, you know, educating us brothers after
so what's
game.
the top? Bumble?
So
Bro, it's 3 at the top.
Oh, 3?
It's 3.
I only know about 3.
And there's one you may not know about. But 2 of these I find are difficult in finding black chicks. And that is going to be Bumble, and it's another one called The League.
Oh, wait. Is the lead the one with the waiting list?
Yeah.
Where you got to make $100,000 plus?
You ain't got to make $100,000 plus. But from what I understand, they want to match ratios, like men and women. So, like, you may sit on a waiting list until they have, like, enough women to allow your entry. You know what I'm saying?
So, are you on there?
Yeah.
Oh, why you didn't tell me about this one?
Bro, so I had somebody sponsor me on the league.
Whoa, you the sponsor?
Yeah. So hold on.
Hold on. I know. You got to pay for this?
So I had somebody.
This one of the paid ones, ain't it?
No. It's not a paid one. But I had someone sponsor me, and that kind of jumped my name up on the waiting list.
How long was you on this waiting list, bro?
I was on the waiting list for like 3 weeks.
How many?
And most people wait months to get into the league.
From the league?
I have.
Oh.
So a special somebody that you know, I met on the league.
So how you get a sponsor? Is just somebody you know that's on the app
Somebody
already?
that's on the app already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk offline about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Hold on. So I'm looking at what's this? OkCupid is an editor's choice. So is Hinge. Y'all been on either one of those?
I think Hinge is dope, bro.
Yeah.
I will say that I think I've had the most fun on Hinge.
Why is
How
that?
you define fun?
And what I mean by fun is they make the exchange of dating apps a little bit more creative and interesting. Okay. So you have the ability to kind of like put very unique stuff on your profile.
Okay.
Of course, you can add videos and stuff, which now most of them are kind of doing that. But
What you doing, a campaign ad? You know what I mean?
So-
like why you should pick me or something?
So Anthony Freeman on a review says, I like OkCupid, with the exception of maybe Hinge. It's the best dating app on the market.
I haven't used No, I'm gonna take that back. I did briefly use OkCupid.
Yeah, bro. How many have you been?
So between
I've tried out all the major ones.
so Rob and Corn, which ones do you have on your phone right now?
Oh, let me break that down for you, bro.
He just told us all these damn.
Hold on. So I'm gonna tell you what I got on my phone right now. I got Bumble. I got Hinge. I got The League. I got BOK.
Damn.
And then there's one that I keep in the back pocket, bro. And not too many people know about this one, but Facebook has launched a dating app.
That's trash, though. It's not trash?
Look, bro.
I was on it for literally like 10 minutes, and I was like, nah, this is whack.
Okay, and this I don't know if this is gonna sound bad.
They got an app, though?
Well, it's like a page within the app. You know what I'm saying? You know how like they have like marketplace, they got like links, feeds. They have a
Yeah, I had a profile on it
oh, okay.
for like a couple minutes, and I was like,
So how did you fare on that, bro? What did you think?
I think it was too close to home, honestly. Although it does tell you that they're not going to link you up with people that you already know.
Yeah.
I think I just wasn't comfortable enough at the time. Should I go back and get on it?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say this: the one thing that I do like, and I think some of the other ones do this as well, but like you get to see who your mutual friends are. So like if they run in certain social circles, I know that probably ain't the move. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do pay close attention to.
So the question goes back: have you fared well on Facebook dating?
I haven't put it like this. I just got on there probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I haven't went out on a date with anyone from Facebook yet.
So how in the hell do you manage your time on all these apps? Do you be at work just swiping and shit?
Bro, you know what I'm saying? When you get a free second, you may swipe, you know what I mean? Like, who knows, man?
Yeah.
But maybe on lunch, you eating your Chipotle bowl, you know what I'm saying?
On your way to a pee break.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got a new message.
But yeah, man, so those are the 5 I have right now. If we want to go back to the tiers, so low tier, BLK, Plenty of Fish. Mid tier, I got Tinder. I'm going to put Facebook on the mid tier as well. And then on the high tier, I'm going to say Bumble, The League, and Hinge. Probably my favorite out of all of them, though, is going to be Hinge. It's they just have a really interactive way of like presenting profiles, which I think is pretty cool.
Corn, which ones you got on your phone?
I'm about to. I just downloaded The League. I just downloaded Hinge.
Say the League want to sponsor the Mass podcast. Hey, reach out.
Now, this is the only thing about The League. You cannot fill in information into your profile, meaning it's certain information you can't put in, like your career and all that kind of stuff. You can only import that from LinkedIn. So in other words, you can't lie about it. You know what I'm saying? And in order to be verified, you got to link at least 2 of your profiles. Now, this is the thing. When you link your profiles, it is a lot of information, but they only use it to verify you. It does not present that information to the people that are like swiping left or swiping right. So it just verifies your identity and who you are, and it puts a little checkbox on your profile so that they know you're not catfishing nobody.
Bro, you been on that thing. He went on that. He know
man,
it.
he's
Bro,
a professional guru. We need to make a YouTube video.
I mean, I do IT work, bro. So I think about like the kind of like very particular pieces of the apps and how they work. So the League is cool. So I've kind of found that because the League is so like geared towards like matchmaking and verifying information and identity, that for whatever reason, I think the people are a little bit more pretentious on the League.
So y'all need to be on there. That sounds like an expensive date.
You want a pretentious woman?
No,
It comes across that way, but the one chick that I met on there, and I went out on a
You
date.
didn't go no date with nobody.
On the League, I did.
Oh yeah,
The
that's what
one-
we gotta talk about.
So that's the next. I guess
hold
that's
on,
the next
Wait,
part of
the
it, right?
one that you went. I'm trying to get some details. The one that you met is what?
Is the one that I met on the League. She was totally like different than what I thought she would have been. Because the idea is kind of like I kind of built my own opinion, like that people are kind of pretentious on there, that kind of thing.
Did y'all have a good day?
We met in person, bro. She was like a real one, like just the right amount of ratchet, just the right amount of classy. It was.
That sounded real good.
Yeah, they have a follow up date.
We actually
it's
dated for a little while.
Oh, okay, okay.
Corey would know who this person is. I'm not gonna name drop. Okay.
No, we're not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We'll just call her Big Booty Judy. How about that?
She's definitely not a scuttlebug.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
what it
not a
sounds like.
scuttlebug.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So can we transition to I guess the next part? Once you download the app, you found you a nice little breezy, nice little woman, then you moving on to the conversation in the app. What is that like?
I think that goes. I think that goes back to Rob's tears. Cause I'm just like I don't remember really having no real conversations on POF.
I think the conversation is trash all the way around.
Yeah.
But
On PFF, you just sending an eggplant.
Eggplant squirt.
with the 3 drops.
Drip, drip, drip.
Oh man, I don't think. I don't like the going back and forth. Like even when, like AOL Messenger, all that instant messenger was big. I never like doing that stuff. I don't like Facebook messaging. I don't like that. Like I'm one of those people. Like, look, we swiped on each other. Let's just go on and exchange phone numbers, and either we gonna talk or we not.
You sound real old school,
But see, the only thing is,
I don't
find
do that? But I'm just saying.
But see, I find that like I try to at least like push the conversation for a little bit because I want the chick on the other end to at least feel comfortable of giving me her phone number. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to just leave with, "Hey girl, let me get your phone number, let me holler at you."
Yeah.
So I try to inspire a certain level of conversation. I just find that like I struggle with the conversation piece.
I don't know. I think the ones again, like I guess the ones I've had success with, like Bumble, BLK is pretty straight, and most of them I'll probably continue to talk to people for a couple of days, and I never initiate giving my phone number out. Maybe like I think the one time, the one person that I'd been really kicking it with for a long time now, I kind of alluded to it. It was like, yo, we're gonna go out or whatever. Let's talk later. And I was like, yo, okay, this is the point when we exchange phone numbers.
Yeah.
Right. But before that, everybody else was like, yo, here's my number. Hit me up.
Yeah, and that's usually what I do. I try to at least hold conversation until they get to a point where they're like, "Hey, here go my phone number."
The issue is, though, I think what's messed up, and I'm guilty of it. I don't be calling people, or hell, half the time I don't text them either. I'm like, it was cool. It was cool while you was on there, but
Was it the picture?
no. I mean, I just think it's just. I mean, I know a lot of people have successful dating apps, right, these days, but it's just something. To me, is just so disingenuous about it, like, which is why for me, I'm like, you can't grasp my attention unless I see you really soon. Like, you know, if we're on the app and, you know, we talking, then boom, we got to transition into let's go out. Like, let's meet up for a drink, let's go to dinner, whatever it's going to be. Because after that, I'm not texting you no more. You know, half the people don't want to talk on the phone. So that's a cutoff, you know, so.
I don't know. I think some women like to talk on the phone. You know, when I had my brief stint on those apps, you know, I try to, you know, generic questions because, I mean, it's through an app. You didn't meet them at the club at happy hour, so you can't really joke. You know, that's why I'm kind of old school. I like meeting people out and about because you can kind of have more.
I mean, you did like meeting people out and about.
Yeah, of course. Come on, man. I'm happily married. You know what I mean?
I was just like,
Why you instigating?
I was just, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying back when.
I know your girl gonna be listening, so I just want to make sure you get it when you get home.
Well, she knows.
I know, just making sure.
We have a happily marriage, you know.
So, but I struggle with the whole conversation piece on the app, bro. I ain't even finna lie to you. And I think it's a combination of a few things. Number one, I don't have a gift of gab, so I just like it's a hard time. Like I'm having a hard time building up these conversations, or at least getting to a place to portray kind of like my personality through text. Because the goal is for us to talk long enough to where she feels comfortable for me to get the phone number, right? The other thing that I feel like is a bigger issue is when you swiping and then all of a sudden you got 20 matches. How do you carry conversation with 20 different chicks?
Bruh.
And it's exhausting, you know what I'm saying?
Exhausting. But I think that's just like dating multiple people. It gets exhausting.
I think when we was younger, it was fun. I think it depends on where you at in life.
Yeah.
It's not so fun anymore. You know, it's like, man, I could be doing more of my time than chatting, conversating with.
I disagree with that part. Like in person, really? Dating in person, I'm all for like dating multiple chicks at one time. Because I feel like that's something I can manage a little bit easier. Because like
is that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I mean, like what's multiple? Because like you said, if you 20 people, right?
Yeah,
you're right. Because if you look at my thing right now, there's like a whole list of unread messages or stuff that I haven't responded back to, and I probably never will. But if you gave all of those people the time, like say 20 people matched with you, 10 of them were like, all right, cool, they bad. So you like, even if that conversation is trash, you probably like, yep, you know what? I'm just gonna see just a little bit.
I mean, because you don't really know chemistry until you meet somebody in person.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, because like for me, I might try to joke a little bit on the message, but for the most part, it's gonna be pretty dry. Because we're not in person. And so when you take that extra step, how do you take that extra step with all of those people that you matched with since you like dating multiple people? That's a lot. And more importantly, that shit get expensive.
I think that's where you got to be a little shallow, right? Because you got to look at the photos.
So,
well, you know, CC told us last time.
So
we gonna need a 5 or 10.
Yeah, so we gonna talk
or 2 5s, 110.
So we gonna. So this is my thing. Like I try to figure out pretty quickly and this is what I'm starting to learn how to do is figure out if this person is, for lack of a better word, like playing in the same league that I'm playing in. And we talk about that whole equally yoked thing, but you really don't know that like texting a person, but you can kind of find an idea like about what they do, what kind of stuff they into. Activities, that kind of thing.
Do you check like the grammar and all that stuff? Is that important?
I think it is important-ish because then you also got to realize that
I can't stand short texts, bro.
I can't
like short texts, I can't stand it. Like
BRB.
WYD, like I can't stand it.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, but I think that when I choose, like, say for instance, I get it down. I don't want to date in real life. I don't want to date no more than like 3 to 5 people at one time.
That's a lot.
Hold on.
How do you manage that in a week?
That's pretty easy, bro. Like lunch dates, coffee dates, bro. Like real quick in and outs.
Your whole day is filled with dates.
It can be. It depends.
How do you keep in contact with 5 women in a day?
So
you schedule messages, don't you?
I really wish you didn't have video for this because I'm gonna seem like a sleazeball after I tell y'all this shit. But like right now specifically, there's only one chick that I'm talking to that I'm trying to get to know, and that's only because I got a lot of stuff going on. Just started a new job, working on some other projects. So honestly, right now I don't have the time.
So what made her the one out of all the 3 to 5?
We're gonna come back to that.
Okay,
bro.
all right.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
So when I did have the time to date, let's say 3 to 5 women, it was really easy to schedule because the thing about it is you got to stick to time, and it don't matter how good it's going. So in other words, I'd be like, hey, let's go meet for coffee. We may have a conversation for an hour. I'm in, I'm out.
Man, you like a CEO over there.
I'm moving on and like taking care of what I need to take care of, running errands, and then maybe like for lunch or something, I may meet somebody for lunch. And then, of course, you got dinner too. So it just depends on how you work it.
Bruh.
Hold on. And then, so to keep it all in order, because the hardest thing for me was remembering like conversations. So like,
and names.
I would download the date afterwards.
What you mean you would download the date?
I would take notes. I would literally do a mental dump afterwards and write it like,
wow,
that's very smart though.
Like, because this is my thing. Women want a guy that's attentive.
I wish I would know that like 10 years ago.
And I can be attentive, but when you're dealing with like multiple women at one time, it's extremely easy to mix up conversations. So like I would hit the key points, quick notes, maybe take like 2 minutes, boom, download. All right, we talked about such and such. She said she a Leo, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And run down that list. So that next time I see her, bro, I'm pro out of here. Next time I see her, I could real quick look at the notes. All right, this is what we talked about. All right, boom, I'm ready to go.
What in the world?
Wow.
Bro.
Can a woman do the same thing? Can she be dating multiple people?
I think that a woman can date multiple people, and I think that they should. However, most women don't. I think they tend to like concentrate on one guy.
Because I think we talking about dating apps. I think a lot of these women on these dating apps date multiple dudes.
They probably are. I mean, let me say this: they probably talking to multiple dudes. But how often do you find that a chick trying to get you exclusive?
I think they usually have like 1 or 2 that they kind of narrow it down, but they got like a couple in their back pocket just in case. You know what I mean? I think from a man, I think we all in on all 5 and see which one we can, move to the second base with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never understood bases though. What is I don't even know. I don't really know what.
Come on, man. You know what the bases are.
I know what the home run is. That's what I know.
I think what I'm saying is certain chicks, you know that okay, through conversation you can, get your way up to the home base. Then some chicks, you can just hit a home run that day because of conversation or interaction.
That's that POF working.
I think there's some professional women out there too. Not some scuttlebugs, that you can do that too. I think it just depends on, your conversation, your look, because you know how women look at us, they checking more boxes than we do, I think, especially during that first interaction. But, it depends.
So, Chris, you asked me, how did I choose or get down to that one chick that I decided to get to know? So primarily, like, it was just about, like, the conversations that we had, like, within the app. And I left it in the app for as long as I could, and then she finally felt comfortable enough. She was like, "Hey, here's my number. Give me a call or whatever." Well, no, I actually asked her for a phone number, but this was probably like a week or two, like in the app talking, kind of like here and there throughout the day. Usually, I won't keep up dating chicks for a long time. Like in other words, that 3 to 5 chicks at one time that may last me like 2 or 3 weeks, and sometimes 1 to 2 weeks. Because off the rip, if I meet with you and we don't have any chemistry, I'm done with you. Like, chemistry is like a mandatory thing for me, like off the rip. And we don't have to have great conversation. We can kind of build up to that, but if we don't have any chemistry, I can't even hang out with you. So, pretty quickly I can go from like 5 down to 2, just given the situation.
So what is chemistry looking like? Chemistry for me is, gotta have some humor. I think you gotta like talk about, especially if you at 30 plus, about future, intent, things you have interest in, or whatever. But I think you can definitely narrow it down pretty quick on that. I think versus us being like in our 20s, you know what I mean? You know, because I think we had one or two things on our mind at that time.
Yeah.
Like 30, you know, we thinking like, man, I'm 30. I'm a professional black man, you know, I got 401k, I got ROAs, you know, I'm trying to, you know, do some more things.
So for me, like chemistry is like, it's the things that I feel without talking. To me, chemistry is 100% like the nonverbals. So if, and it's gonna sound corny and cheesy, but if I don't have a special feeling when I'm in your presence or near you, like that like butterflies and type shit. I mean, we're gonna be honest.
No, that's real.
Because guys feel the same way women do. Like, and if I don't have that,
Can you get it through the app?
you can't get it through that. You
got
gotta meet them in person to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I've told y'all about this person, but like, hey man, I swiped a couple times. I swiped and I was like, man, I hope this person hit me back, and I was like, I felt some type of way about it.
What got you to that point though?
Like,
was it the picture, the profile?
This
it's
is actually on Bumble.
Okay.
So, I got a chance to kind of look a little bit through the profile, and you know, so I mean, pictures obviously are good, you know, and the more pictures people put up are better. We got to talk about that. But yeah, man, it was just like, you know, I think it was a combination of things. And I got you there with the, you know, you get to continue that feeling, right? So it's like, you know, that you got the profile connect, then you get a chance to actually look at the actual person, or look the snippet of a person that you get, and then you get to connect it all when you actually meet them in person. And so, yeah, I think that definitely, if you get those little tingling, you know what I'm saying, that make it all worth it. But moving over to pictures, that's the big deal on the apps, man. Look, all these filters and little dog ears and shit.
Man, look.
Stars and flowers on your picture. Yo,
Bruh.
35. What the fuck you got that shit on your picture for?
Bruh, I'm so tired, bruh, of filters, angles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
angles be lying, boy.
bro, just take some real photos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think these are the basic rules. You got to have a decent selfie pic.
Yeah.
Without the filters and all the BS, you know what I'm saying? The star crowns and all that around your head, you know what I'm saying?
Ears,
Yeah.
tongue coming
Like,
out.
just give me an unedited, straight up selfie.
Yep.
You got to have that full body photo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They be putting that as the last picture on some of them. And I ain't gonna lie, I got caught.
Because you don't scroll all the way down.
No, sir. I was just swiping. Swipe on their face. Oh, she cute. Swipe.
So if they don't have a full body, do you keep swiping?
So if a chick don't have a full body photo, I won't even swipe right on her. Like, it don't matter how pretty she is. I'm going to swipe left if you ain't got no full body photo.
Seriously? 'Cause
Straight up.
I'll swipe on you. But the problem is, like, so, like, I think it's BOK, I think. It's BOK or Bumble. And you'll match, and then you'll look at them and you're like, oh, damn. Nope. I'm good. And I just don't respond to the message.
I mean, look, I'm real critical of photos. That's like, look, if the photos ain't appealing, I ain't even finna swipe right on you. If you ain't got no full body, I can't do it.
So too many filters, you still swiping left?
Yeah,
right?
if you got filters, boom,
filters
left.
not a good
Yeah,
look.
filters, I'm swiping left on you. No full body, I'm swiping left on you. Now, I will scroll through all photos because sometimes them selfies can be deceiving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The angles, you said it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or just like thin in the face, but then like that whole neck down situation.
Have you had an instance where y'all, like, you know, move forward to meet up with somebody and the pictures didn't match?
I've only met 2 people, I think.
That happened to me a couple years ago, bro. Like, where it may have been a little bit longer than that, but where I met this chick and her photos, and this is why I implemented the full body photo rule. Because super pretty, bro.
Look like Janet Jackson, but when you met her, she was Freddie Jackson.
Man, super pretty. Now, like, met her in person, she was still real pretty, but like,
Didn't match up.
the body did not match up to the face. And I'm not saying, like, you can't look at one chick I've ever dated and say he got a type, because they all look different.
Yeah.
But to me, it's something appealing about each one of those women. It's just, with her, I didn't vibe with her physical. You know what I'm saying?
So, I'm lying. I have met up with a couple people, but it's like on Black Planet. Black Planet was like, that's the first time I drove to Fort Worth by myself. Bro, like, when you still had
Man, you drove all the way to Fort Worth?
Bro, first of all, I'm not look, you know what? I ain't driving to Fort Worth for no.
When you 18, 19, yes, you will.
Yeah,
I drove.
That's facts. That's
and
facts.
she was, look, bro, I still remember that picture on Black Planet, man. She was on the beach, sitting down. I was like, oh, yeah. Look, I got to the location, bro, and she was trash. She wasn't trash, actually, no. She had a pretty face, and she had the nerve to ask me, what do you think? Do I look like the picture?
You
Fuck no, you don't look like
chick,
that
you know
picture.
you don't look like that damn picture. If you gotta ask that damn question, you know you don't look like that damn picture.
And then she tried to smash. I didn't do it though.
Oh. Yeah, you did. Stop lying.
No, I didn't, bro. I didn't. I was like, I ain't got no condom. And I had one of them.
Man, you drove Hollywood to Fort Worth. Come on.
Bro, I didn't do it.
I don't believe
That's
Cole.
50 miles.
I'm real shallow, so I couldn't do it.
I've been knowing you for a long time, bro. I think you smashed.
I did though. I should have. I didn't do it.
You did something.
I didn't do nothing. Yeah, I didn't do it.
I mean, I did have one instance where I did go out with a girl, and she was pretty in everything. Then I took her out, and she like was an alcoholic. I didn't even realize, man, this girl drunk. I can drink.
So that was a problem?
Hell yeah.
You know what? I would, tread lightly, bro.
You out drinking.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Me Too. You better
She might me too. Me. Drinking all that brown liquor. I was like, oh,
Damn,
man, this,
not the brown.
this ain't gonna work out.
She have her chest out because it probably has some hair on it.
Nah, it did. I mean, she was pretty, man. She was from Detroit. I guess I don't know, but
Why you didn't cut the alcohol off?
At that time, I was like, hey, maybe I get another drunk. Then
The crazy thing is dating when you were like in your early 20s, or right at that 19 to 20 stage, at 18, 20, was much cheaper than it is like when you fucking like 28 on up to 30. Because women like to drink now. They're like, oh, let me get a couple martinis. God damn it. Get Dr. Pepper. Shit. Alcohol be more expensive than the food.
bro. That alone is a topic in itself.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so true.
So I think, out of all, like, I've only had one that didn't look like or didn't present themselves like I thought that they were in their photos. Yeah. How do y'all feel about like the bio section with the info and all the stuff that they put on y'all profiles? Do y'all feel like that's mandatory, or do y'all care about that information?
I think it's important. Some people put too much shit in there though. Like some people have like fucking soliloquies in there. Nobody's trying to read all this shit. Like, and then at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, so you read the rest? You read all of that?" And I'm like, "Come on, man, that shit." Like, first of all, why do you have that much time to do that shit? Which to me says like you're gonna be wasting my time because you ain't got shit else to do.
I mean, honestly, like I think that you can take some of that info and use it as conversation bits, but at the same time, it's like I feel like that's the whole purpose of like the idea of what we're doing, like getting to know each other. So I don't have a whole lot of information on my profile, like basic stuff like location, what I do, and that's it in a like very general sense. In hopes that if I were to reach out to somebody or they reach out to me, that we can start to like converse with those like topics without So
yeah, I agree with that. I don't put too much on my bio either. I actually use my real name now. So
what you used to use? Matt Dingo 89.
Shit. What was that name I used before? I had one when I first got on. It was like, God damn it! I made a whole separate Gmail account for it.
You had a whole separate email for it, bro.
It was
what, you scared you gonna get found out of here or what?
Bro, it was Big Willie something big. It was something crazy, something ridiculous. Big Ricky D. That's what it was. Big Ricky D.
So y'all get on the apps, you sort through the photos, you swiping, you got some matches. How's the conversation experience been for y'all on the apps?
I think, for me, I think it's usually good. I mean, I think at some point you just gotta have like some generic questions to lead with, then use as the bait to kind of capture some additional conversation. But the end goal, I think, is to, as quick as possible, to get the numbers so you can talk to the person. Because, I mean, at some point, I think dragging out, talking on the app, you can only talk so much. Then I think that's where you get to the point to where you move on to the next person. And it could have been like a good chick or whatever, but, you're just like, well, man, we kind of stagnant right here on the conversation on the app. So
What I hate is, I agree with that. What I hate is like when you match with someone and then you might, like, cool, you might send a message to them and they never fucking respond.
Yeah, I can't stand that either.
That's like, yo,
like why you
don't match with me if you're not gonna fucking respond.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
and especially when it's the bad ones, you be like, God damn, I sure wish they would have responded.
but see, I done done that a couple times though, bro. Well, they hit me up and they asked. You know what I'm saying? But it's usually for a reason.
I do it all the time. That's usually when I done swiped on their face and then I look at their body and then I'm like, not responding to this shit.
See, for me, it's usually like I'll see the profile initially, and I'll have a profile locked in. So when I see them as a match, I'll click on their profile again. And if something changed that I don't like, then I may not talk to them. Sometimes they'll go in and update photos, change photos, or like change information on their profile since you swiped on them, and it may not be something I like. So,
what's some questions that you maybe shouldn't ask, or like what's too much information that kind of will like be like, you know what, I'm good on this one. I'm gonna move on.
What they would ask or what you would ask them?
What they would ask you that you be like, nah.
How much money you make?
Yeah, or like what I drive. Yeah.
I haven't really got that though.
And that's why I put like kind of like what I do generically in my profile. But the one thing that always annoys me, and this is gonna always get like, this question for me will always get a no response, and I ain't talking to you. Matter of fact, I'm finna go into the settings and unmatch. But when a chick asks me, well, tell me about yourself, or when she, says, tell me about yourself, I'm like, we can have an interactive conversation, and we could ask each other questions, but like, that's a question that's too generic. It is. And I don't really know what you expect in return. Like how much detail you want me to go in.
I just looked at my bio, so there you go.
Yeah. I respond with that, and I'm like, what do you want to know? Like, what specifically do you want to know?
Yeah.
I won't leave you like on red on that, but I'm
gonna leave you on red, bro. I'm tired of that question. I'm so tired of that statement, bro. Tell me about yourself. You know what? How about I don't? Unmatch, nigga.
This is what what pisses me off. It don't piss me off. I'm lying. This just separates people. In the profiles where they actually have like, what you do. Why the fuck do you ask me in the messages what I do? Like,
bro,
that means you didn't read.
Bro.
Like, yo, that's it. That's
or maybe she's just wanted to double check to make sure you ain't lying.
Nah, fuck that.
You don't think so?
Read.
Okay.
I think that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? And that's like literally, I don't have nothing in my profile but that.
Exactly.
And you gonna come back and ask me that, bro?
They're like, where'd you go to school? It's on the fucking profile. Like, come on, man. Like, it's like clear that you ain't trying to win out here.
And I don't like when I'm trying to talk to a chick and she's not really participating in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, you may ask her a question, she may answer, and that just like be that. She may not return any questions or whatever. I can't get down with that.
I do that.
Like a short answer?
Yeah, just like that. She's not asking any questions. She's just only answering questions. I'm just like, all right, well, fine.
I got a couple of them like that now. I just did that. I'm like, but you know what? I want you to be like, I'm disinterested in you. So that way, I'm not the one that has to. I'm not the one that has to cut it off.
Two can play that game. You're like, all right, I'm gonna do this and see how she's gonna react.
Yeah, because I don't want to like come out and say, you know what? I'm tired of this conversation. Like, this ain't gonna work. Because one, that's too much fucking shit to text. So if you just be like, well, this nigga ain't really responding, then it just naturally fall off. We ain't gonna worry about it.
So I like to keep my inbox clean. I'm gonna unmatch you if the conversation goes stale. Like, boom, I'm getting you out of there. Because if you got 20 matches, bro, and you're trying to sort through, like, I'm not finna have a whole bunch of conversations that are just like lingering. If the conversation ain't going anywhere, like, I'm good, bro. Unmatched. And I just feel like I don't owe a person a whole lot at that stage because we literally don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have just been one question exchange, and I'm just like, you know what? Nah, it's good.
So, like, I know you don't have any kids, but you have kids. So, you know, you move to the next stage. What point after using an app to date, do you, in conversation and dating, do you, like, move forward, maybe meeting the kids? You don't meet the kids?
So, I'm going to be honest, man. So, I got 2 girls. I protect my girls with everything. And it's super important for me to know that whoever that person is in for the long run. So, like, we would have to be in a fully committed relationship, not seeing anybody else, before I would even consider introducing them to my daughters. And even still, like, once in a committed relationship, like, I need to, like, be in it for a little bit to know you ain't going anywhere. Because I ain't finna willy-nilly, like, introduce my daughters to nobody that ain't finna be around. So that's just me.
Has a woman ever did that to you? Like, hey, here's my son, little man.
Bro, you'll be surprised, like, how many women do that. And, like, I ain't got no issue. Like, I date women with kids, and I have no problem with that. But, like, I do have a problem with being introduced to someone's child very early on. That's just like, you don't know me from Adam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what type of dude I am. You ain't really got to know me. So why are you having me around your kid? Like, that's just how I feel. So
what's too early, or what's just right? Me, I think like a year. At the minimum.
A year is
like we minimum? like maybe 3 to 6 months dating. Then that second 6 months we like serious. Then like, all right, here's because I got a daughter. Well, I just got a newborn. But when I was my previous relationship, I got a 10-year-old. So when I was dating, it was
so how long was it before you got married before dating your wife that you introduced to your daughter?
Oh man, it was good, like 6 months or so.
Seriously,
but again, I think it's situational because I think like with my wife, you know what I mean, is like we just clicked like so good, so fast, you know, just one of those situations to where, you know, I just felt comfortable enough to where, you know, where she was going, where I was going, it just kind of worked out. But yeah, I think it varies. I think if you got like a little, you know, chick you just met on the app, you ain't trying to really mess with, then yeah, it ain't gonna. You might want to wait a little bit longer.
So yeah, that would annoy me, bro. So like,
BLK.
so Corwin is scrolling through his BLK matches.
That's easily 50,
and he got like probably over 50 conversations that just sitting there. See, that would drive me insane, bro. Like, I'm gonna let you back loose into the wild. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna free you. You know what I'm saying? Like, go on, do your thing.
Oh man.
So, all right, man. So we talked about tiers. All right, we got the low tier, which was POF. I'm gonna throw BLK in there. We had mid tier, which was Tinder, and then top tier, which was Bumble, Hinge, and the League. We also talked about how chicks be playing around with these photos, these filters, them angles. Y'all tighten up, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, we guilty of it too. But I try to be very aware of the type of photos that I post. I've heard from friends that I know, like female friends, that talk about like the mess that these dudes be posting, you know what I'm saying, with their money, their gold teeth, their guns, no shirt on. You know what I'm saying?
How about skinny jeans? Skinny jeans?
Oh.
Yes, no?
All that, bro. So that goes, the photo thing goes both ways. And I feel like as far as the bios go, put enough information where people can kind of get a quick idea, but leave it up to conversation to get to know somebody.
You know, before we wrap this thing up, which we need to do, how do you feel about on dating apps when you have people that are transsexual coming up on the profiles or that slide into your inbox? Because it happens.
So this is the only problem that I have with that.
Or just I'm sorry.
And I may piss some people off about this, but like transgender people, they want to be labeled as, you know, like whatever it is. So, you know, they want people to be clear about the proper pronouns, the hims, the hers, the she's, the his, and all that. And I'm cool with that. My thing is this, like, I feel like dating apps should classify that as well on the app.
Sure.
And if I'm willing to date or be with the transgender, like, have that in my settings. Like, I want to, because you know how they ask you want to date men or women. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, you check that box.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the idea that I've dated, like, that I put that I want to date women and I get a little bit of everything in there.
Yep.
Now, mind you, it don't take no time to swipe because you kind of have an idea, but it's just like.
But if you swiping too fast, sometimes.
Bro, I ain't swiping that fast. Swipe too fast, have something.
Oh, man. Oh, this being men ain't shit.
So you saying like most of the apps, they don't have those type of settings on them?
Yeah, so it's just usually just like you want to date men and women.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't really have an idea unless people want to be clear and like disclose that in their profile. Sometimes you can kind of look at photos and kind of tell. But I mean, who's to say?
Yeah.
If folks done had like the full thing done, you know what I'm saying? They out here fooling folks. You don't know.
Man, if that's that swipe, you might not know.
That's so true.
So
swipe too fast, you know what I'm saying?
So I think we need to revisit this topic, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it my homework to get on. What's the one that we talked about?
The League,
The
bro.
League. So I'm gonna get on the League. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put on a suit. I'm gonna take a picture. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get on the League. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna tell y'all how it went.
All right, bro. I'm gonna update y'all on my experiences so far. We'll talk about the one young lady I'm talking to right now. We'll see if she's still around on that episode.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, I'm just gonna be listening and watching and be happily at home.
All right, y'all.
My wife.
We out of here to the next one. See you later.
All right, holla.
Thanks for listening to the Men Ain't They Sh podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.